Hello, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, everywhere that you are watching us, remember this is mp4, and always I am your host on Life Transformation Center. My journey, my story. Mercy Nesta. Hello, Mr. Asante.
Mercy.
How are you doing?
Good.
Can you just tell us about yourself in short, like who is Asante?
Asante is, should I say, is a simple man from West Africa. Lived and grew up in Africa. Started as a teacher. Came to United States to become a scientist. Worked with the pharmaceutical for some time. But aspired to go into medical research. That's the final destination, maybe to see if we can change a lot of things in Africa continent.
Wow, that's so fantabulous. Can you just tell us a little bit of how did you grow up? If you can check back home, how did you grow up?
That's a tough question. But you know, Africans, we grew up with a very tough environment and situations.
Yes.
Mine wasn't different, but maybe sometimes I say it's kind of closer to West, but not the end of the world. My father and my mother were not married, so it's like in a situation like is it Gideon in the Bible? Yeah, and 5 years after my birth, my mother sent me to my father, and I never saw my mother till I was 30 years old. So within that, it was crazy, but then it made me learn a whole lot of things that right now sometimes people think I'm over compassionate because I understand situations beyond what it should be. Schooling, okay, should I say I started schooling, stopped somewhere, continued somewhere, then came back to schooling till I completed my first undergraduate course in Ghana. They have a university called University of Cape Coast. That's in the central region, which the Ghanaians, a lot of them call it under constant confusion, but we call it under Christ control. Yeah, because of the UCC, so they can put any meaning to it.
Wow.
Yes, but they think we are confused because we always on, should I say, kind of recession, because other universities will be in school, but we will not, because if things are not right, we don't allow it to go.
That's right.
Yeah. But I grew up and then realizing that that wasn't the best way to solve issues. So to come up with this analogy that knowing your right cause you to fight and then cause a lot of commotion, destroy, break stuff up, which we call revolution. But knowing your responsibility, that is the most important thing in life. That if you get to know your responsibility, then you know what to handle, and then if I cannot handle it, I wouldn't go for it. And that is one failure that I see with the churches right now. Somebody wants the fame, so he will go to become a pastor. Meanwhile, he doesn't know the responsibility of a pastor. But if you know your responsibility as a pastor, then the dignity, and then the others will follow. But that's the world that we are in, and I always say that we go back to our roots and then find some things that will help. So I don't know, maybe by the end of the interview, maybe we get there. This is just of it.
Mr. Joseph, you have a very interesting story. If I can just bring you back. You grew up to 30 years old without seeing your mom. And your mom knew that you were there. She couldn't even come for a visit. Or maybe, are you not the one who was maybe asking to go and pay her a visit? What was there? Can you clarify over there?
Okay. I don't know, but based on my father's story and my mother's story, there's some weird images. According to my mom, when she realized she was pregnant, she came to my dad that she wanted to stay with him. And my dad said, honestly, where I share with my dad was then 65 years old. So some people will say an old man's child. That's what happened. My mom was younger. She was in her 20s. And whatever happened between them, they can best explain. But then, after 5 years, from my 5th birthday, that was the last time I saw my mom, till I was 30 years before I saw her as this my mother. I didn't go and look for her in specifically, but it's some situation. I was after my national service, there was one secondary school that requested that they needed a physics teacher. So I was doing a part-time in that school. And there's a store that usually when I go and buy 1 or 2 things because I don't carry everything from where I come from. So I do buy. So one day I was buying stuff and then the woman said, "You look like my son who is lost." I said, "Your son is lost?" He said, "Yeah, my sister's son with one Ekwapen man." So she described, honestly, beginning I was like, I realized that was me, but I had to probe her more, and then she told me where she comes from, and that's the exact time I knew my mom was from. And I knew my mom had a sister, but I didn't know where she was at. So she mentioned her name. I said, okay, then this is the name I know for my mom, but I don't know where she is. She said, okay, I'll talk to her and then we'll come and look for you. So after that, I think they arranged to come, but then my dad was dead long ago and my sister was taking care of me, and they came to see my sister and my older brothers, and then did whatever tradition they had to perform so that I'll see the 2 sides of the family. So that's what happened, and that was, I think, 2005-ish. Yeah.
I'm very sorry to say this. That's why you are brilliant. Because all the Joseph and David, that's how they...
Yeah, so that name, if they are giving you any of them, you have to run away.
Yes.
Because it comes with trouble.
Yes. I agree with that. Mr. Joseph, let's move forward a little bit about you being a teacher, because I heard you talking about teaching, right?
Yes.
Did you start teaching after your high school graduation, or you went for school teaching, whatever?
Okay, thank you. I completed high school. I was waiting, and then I had opportunity to teach in a primary school for some time. And then I had admission to go to university. And Ghana too, we know we have 3 main universities. Right now there are more, but those days we used to have 3 main universities. Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, University of Ghana, and then University of Cape Coast. University of Kwame Nkrumah Science and Technology is meant for scientific and other sites. So if maybe you want to be a medical and those things, those days that's how they were recommended. And then if you want to be a teacher, then you go to University of Cape Coast. And if you want to do humanities, that was in quotes. That's how they were labeled, in quotes. But right now, all of them does everything.
Does everything.
So yeah, but then still we have education as a whole department, almost like, should I say a whole institution under the same institution. So education is a major, and they control almost like all the teaching schools as training colleges and then other things that is in the system that helps with teaching. So when you go to University of Cape Coast and you come out, everybody think that you are a teacher.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's like whether you take initially, I think everybody was taking education as you take education before you go to your field of study. But after some time, a lot of discussion came up, and then they said, okay, no, it's not everybody who will be a teacher. So we have this education department or institution, which is like a whole big branches that have everything in, and then we have the other side that's physical science, and then other branches that we also have in every university. So University of Cape Coast is like even the anthem it speaks for itself. The brainchild of Nkrumah for education. We learn to teach, find out, and pass on. We cancel, we enlighten.
Can I go to that school?
Oh, you can. It's like you can go there. Maybe we can even pay a visit. Here we have I think we call ourselves UCC alumni. We have it here.